Hello and welcome to another episode of our Speakeasy podcast. We've got
Gianni.
And I am Ken. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
What is happening here? So last week I had brought the Equilibrium. This week John brought the
Brix City, baby.
Yeah, yes. I saw you checking out my new hat.
You're golden, pony boy. You got the hat and the shirt.
I got.
Is that a Jamie Foxx hat? What is that?
No, I stopped back at Fox and Hair.
Fox and Hair.
I love their hats there, man. I'm like, I'm buying another one because I have like a blue one.
That's a pretty cool hat.
Yeah,
I like the color.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was between two colors when I was there. And the one I bought the last time, and then this one, I was like, dude, I really like that color.
Do I like the black? Do I like the diarrhea?
Yeah, I went with diarrhea this time.
I like it. I'm digging it. It matches the shirt. What do you say? Winter Schnitzel?
Do you know what this is from?
What's this?
I've wore this shirt on the podcast.
Schnitz and Giggle?
Schnitz and Giggles.
Schnitz and
It's
Giggle.
the greatest
Like
beer in all of the world. It's from Beer Fest, a movie.
Yeah, no.
Schnitz and Giggles.
Oh.
I forget. If you're a Beer Fest fan, you would know. But yeah, John brought the Brix this time, huh?
It's been a while since we've done some Brix, and you know, Brix is very close to me and one of my first go-to breweries, and I love going there, and I hang out there, and they came out with a couple good ones this week. The first one we're going to do is a Lagerhythm.
Yes,
The Lagerhythm is gonna get you. Lagerhym's gonna get you. I don't know. Is that a song? Did I make that up? This is 4.8%. It's an easy lager.
No, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Fresh and squeezy.
Yes, sir. And there's really nothing to even say about it. It's just a good...
It's actually really called Lagerhythm. I thought you were just
Lagerhythm.
joking around and saying, like, oh, it's a Lagerhythm.
No, that's what it is. Lagerhythm.
Yeah, cool.
When they serve it there, they serve in those big fat mugs, you know, like a Stein, I guess. I don't know. But I like it. So I picked it up and it smells a little funky.
Does it? See how it goes down.
Cheers. Simple.
Yeah.
Easy.
Even if it smells a little funky.
Good.
It's good. It's good on the nice finish, too. I like that
Nice
finish. Yeah.
Little aftertaste, but it's not bad.
I kinda like
it's
it.
not negative.
Yeah. It's very beer aftertaste. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. It's a very beer. Like, this is a beer you're having right now.
Yes.
I know that sounds silly, but there's a lot of beers nowadays that aren't super beery, I guess. And this is very, very beer in your face beer.
Yeah, no. I always say it's one of my favorite spots, and you know, I love everything they put out. And
this is something that your like grandpa would definitely be like, "This is good. I don't like this one. I like that one."
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not into hoppy IPAs. I'll try this one.
Yeah,
and then
it's good.
It's good.
Solid.
All right.
Thanks, Brix.
I got you. Yeah, thanks, Brix.
Yeah. What else? We had some interesting topics we're going to talk about today. I was like, we're kind of like me and John are kind of brainstorming and things and talking about things. And we want to obviously talk about things that not are always news related. So we were like, what about like talking about inventions, things that you think would make our lives better, things that you would like to see in the future?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you watch old 70s, 60s, 80s movies, like this is their future.
Yes.
And the things that they promoted are not really there yet.
Yes.
You know, like, right? Like the Jetsons were like the year 2020.
Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. And
like,
just how the...
No, we're not flying our cars around. And
yeah. Is that what you want to see, flying cars? Is that something you would think you would like?
Don't know. Like, you know, on my way here... You know, like being on the highway and stuff, and I'm like, you know, when the slow cars in the left lane, I'm like, I wish there was something where I just like hop over them or, you know, hover up and go, phew, you know, like.
But just think about it though, it's like anything that is flying and can come back down. It's not like having an accident on the road.
No,
you're potentially
you're gonna crash no matter where you are. In the air, on the ground.
You're gonna like it's a lot harder that crash. But I'm sure you know safety systems and everything has evolved over the years.
Yeah.
We have airbags on every single corner of the car nowadays. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe something where like the car in front of you, like if you're driving, like it starts beeping, like detection. Like, all right, you're going too slow. Somebody's coming up behind you. Why don't you pull to the right and let them go, and then you know do what you got to do.
Yeah. I think it's interesting.
Or even communication between cars. You know, when you get close enough to a car, you know, you can be like, you know, almost like a CB radio.
Well, there's a couple things that need to happen, though, as far as if you want to fly in cars. And one of the biggest things you need to happen, I'm sure we can have it now. You know, with things hovering and all that of that sort. I think what we would need to have is a lot of money. It's got to be affordable, and that's the whole thing. Well, yeah. Is this something that can be affordable? Is this something? So it'd be cool. Yeah, we have it. or if we do have it, but is it something that every day mom and pop or Joe or any of these people can get that, you know?
Right.
So I think in theory it'd be pretty cool to have flying cars. I think.
I don't know, I mean, I'm afraid to fly to begin with, so I don't know if I
Yeah.
want a flying car, but I just want a car that I want there to be technology where it makes the traffic smoother. Like, still, traffic to me makes no sense.
Yeah. I'm going to stay with this, John. I'm going to stay with what you're saying as far as transportation goes. And I'm going to say something that I would like to see is, and we have that technology now, but I want to see trains that can travel from like here, the East Coast, to like the West Coast in a matter of a couple hours. I know there's always been talk about it. And it's always been something that they...
Something that's got to go fast.
Well, think about it. In Europe, they already have the bullet trains. Those are pretty damn fast, those trains.
Right.
But we have the capability to make something frictionless. So think about it as like, for instance, you work in banks.
Yep.
And you know when you put that little thing up the chute and it sucks up the money and it goes around, it's almost like a frictionless system. It's actually like suction going through.
Right.
Say if we did something like that and it's just underground, cross country. You can use magnets, things of that sort, where you have the opposite. You ever take two magnets and try to put them together?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think something like that would be pretty cool to see
Guess you would just have to test of how the human body would react to something like that.
Well, think about it though. You're in a plane that's going 500 miles per hour or whatever.
True.
You know, you just we're not
it's pressurized.
Yes, yeah, we're not sitting there like with our faces going backwards. You know, I think that would be cool to see. I mean, it's 100%. Like, but it's like building these railroads. It's not something. It's like it's not going to happen overnight. You gotta.
Yeah, it'd have to be an open land, and
it would take a long time to build.
Yeah,
but that would be cool.
That would be cool
to see in the future.
I would love to be able to get from like here to California, and
I know. Like, where are you going out tonight? L.A.
A few hours. Yeah.
Going to L.A. Just checking it out. Just,
that would be pretty.
If it sucks, I'll come back early. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. That would, I think we'll get there. I think we may see that in our lifetime. I feel like that's something we may see.
I don't know. Not maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you said like that's something like especially if it went underground. That's something that would take years to dig out.
Yeah.
Especially with all the bodies of water and everything. Like you would.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, but it's underground. So.
Because like, where would you do it from? New York to L.A.
Yeah. So
if you lived in like Atlanta, you'd have to drive to New York to be able to get to L.A.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Or do you be all interconnected through the big
That's
cities?
the whole thing. If you're building, say you're building one railway, maybe you can do, or let's call them tubes. Maybe while they're doing one, they can do 6 others and then connect them and do whatever and do something of that sort. I think anything frictionless, you can go the speeds of like anything, like crazy amounts of speeds.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, that would be cool to do something of that sort. And then you just have little connections here and there from like city to city. And you just almost have an underground network of just trains going from one place to. We're the age of our regular choo-choo trains. You know, I mean, that's a system from what, the 1800s or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we've come a long way where we can maybe make something a little cooler now. It's like toilets, man. I feel like toilets are still the same from like the. Yeah. Listen, I guess it's one of those things they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I feel like toilets haven't evolved or changed or anything in the last whatever years.
Well, what could you do with a toilet? Let's see.
Something. Well, we have bidets.
Yeah, I would like to see something along the lines of that.
It's like toilet paper. Like, you ever watch Demolition Man? And she's like, wait a second, you wad up pieces of toilet paper and wipe your butt with that? You know? Like, he's like, what do the 3 seashells do? Or whatever it was that you watched Demolition Man.
Even something where you're like, you like pooped in a tube that went down,
Like an airplane one?
Yeah,
it just sucks it up.
It's like a capsule, and then you flush the toilet, and the capsule closes. And
yeah.
No water involved.
You know what would be cool, too? If they had, like, little tester kits inside your toilet, and it says, you have too much fiber.
Yeah.
You better check out that bloody stool of yours.
Yeah, you realize you're bleeding.
Yes. Lots of blood. Yeah. Lots of blood. Are you on your period?
Oh, man.
But that's another...
Something, yeah.
Some kind of technology. I mean, we're not in outhouse days, I guess. But, well, some of these third world countries still do.
Can you imagine, though, speaking of, like, poop and, like... I was watching a dog poop the other day, and I was like, "That's
He's like, this is what I was doing the other day. I was watching this dog.
I was
poop.
driving, and this dog was pooping. Every dog looks the same when they poop, right? They got their legs, and
Yeah,
they,
and they look
every dog looks
at
exactly
you
the
while
same.
they do it.
Yeah, right.
Good job, buddy. Yeah,
Like
keep pushing.
they don't wipe. Like, why do we have to wipe? Like, why can't we just spread and go and?
We don't have the same ass. They don't have butt cheeks like us, so they don't have something like we have two big buns that it's squeezing stuff through.
Maybe you should invent something that goes in like your bunghole, where just like a tube comes in.
Would you like a bag that you don't have to go? You just connect it. You don't want that. Trust me.
Because sometimes you're on the toilet and you're wiping for like an hour, and you're like,
Well, that's
"It's not
because
stopping." Like,
you have one creeping out. That's why you still have one that's hanging there that it just keeps wiping over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Maybe
again.
something we should invent something that we're like a little.
Yeah, and then your
little
ass is
hand
raw
comes
by
up
then.
and wipes it. And
Yeah, then your ass is raw by then after you wiped 6,000 times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chopped meat.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see more technology in the medical industry.
Yeah,
be
well,
honest with you.
brings back to what we just said about the poop. Maybe somebody
Yeah.
could tell us that
Yeah.
your stool is too firm or too loose or
Yeah.
whatever.
Stop eating that corn.
Yeah, stop eating that corn. But give me kind of an example of what you're talking about as far as medical.
Well, I mean, they
goes.
came up with like, all right, you didn't have to go to the doctor anymore. Now we had like self-COVID tests.
Yeah,
We have drug tests. Why can't we have like, all right, I have a sore throat.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to go to the doctor or the urgent care. Why can't, when we go there, they swab us.
Yeah.
Why can't we have a self, swab at home?
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, I got strep throat.
1 second. Let me check on my dog real quick.
He's kind of crying there. Right?
Yeah, it's a weird sound for him.
Yeah. So why can't we have an invention where the dog can tell us what's wrong with them?
Yes, well, that's what we need.
Sounds where the dog makes a crazy sound and. But yeah, animals talking. I don't know. There's a lot of inventions that I think would be pretty cool. Do you ever see those? No, he's good.
Sleeping.
He's good. He's having a bad dream. He's having a bad dream. Maybe he's got a little stomach ache or something.
I don't know.
It was her?
I don't think it was her. No, it sounded like my other dog, and I just went up to him, and he was like laying there, so he looked all right. So that was weird.
Maybe he had a bad dream.
Sorry, guys. I'm a dog person. Want to make sure my dog's all right.
Yeah, that was a strange sound.
Yeah, I heard it more than once. I'm like, okay, let me check on my dog.
But you see a lot of dogs now, a lot of owners, and you see them in a lot of videos where they train the dogs to hit the button,
Oh,
and the dog's like, outside.
Yes.
Or dinner.
yes, yeah.
Maybe.
Dogs are smart.
Dogs are smart.
Well, that might be a cool invention for the future. Something more with dog related.
Where we can actually speak to our animals.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I love what we brought that into.
Deer outside.
Deer
outside.
Squirrel. But yes, as far as what you were saying, with medical,
I think medical industry. I think
we're getting there though.
we should do a lot more stuff where we can self. What do you call it? Like say what we have. You know what I mean? Like self-diagnose.
Yes, it's reminds me of Big Hero 6. You ever watch that?
Yeah, I love that movie.
And he was intended to be be like a doctor or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling? You know,
Yeah.
you have your elevated blood pressure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want one.
Like seriously, like COVID came out, and we're not supposed to talk about COVID because we'll probably get flagged. But
Yeah,
and then like a month later, like self tests came out.
yeah,
Like why can't we do that for other stuff?
yes.
You know?
Well, they
And maybe it'll
things-
make people not spread their germs as much because now we're not leaving.
They're trying. They're trying with that, like Cologuard, where you send your stool sample or whatever out, and they tell you if you have anything issues there.
Right.
But the problem with that is it's the accuracy is not necessarily there yet. I think
But I think like you have the flu or you have a sinus infection. Why can't I swab or do something where I can just stay home, and then you
Yes.
can do like an online doctor? Where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I have this. Here's my tests. Prescribe me a medication. I don't know.
because there's no money in that, John.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah, they make it affordable. They make it easy, and that's not going to work. I don't know.
Because it's not affordable. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's.
Yeah, they want the ultimate goal is they want you to go to the doctor. They want you to get checked out. They want you to get a prescription. They want you to go through the whole process.
You go to the doctor for an itchy ass, and then you get a bill, and you're like, "What the CAT scan?"
CAT scan on my ass.
The hell?
But yeah, but I hear you. I definitely hear you as far as medical things go. I hear you as far as it'd be pretty cool to. I mean, but we've come a long way. I mean, John has mentioned before that his daughter has which has a patch, right, for the diabetes and everything.
Yeah.
And that is pretty cool that you can get an
I
alert.
I can monitor her glucose, her sugar from my phone, and if need be, I can give her glucose. I can give her glucose from my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not glucose. I'm sorry, insulin.
So in that patch, there's like insulin in it or something. That's what it is.
She's got two. One is a meter that's hooked up to her blood that tells us what her is, and then she's got another pump that feeds the insulin when we say, or she puts it in her machine.
Oh.
So if she's gonna go to get pizza, say she's got a little device that she's like, all right, I'm having 40 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
And that will shoot the insulin in her from the
And
pump.
how's she been, by the way, with everything?
Good. Yeah. I mean, it's rough for her because she's only, she's young. She's going to be 13 soon.
But she's in the routine, though. She's got it down pretty much.
Yes and no. I mean, there'll be days where she'll wake up and, have a bowl of cereal or something and be like, I forgot to put it in. And then it's sky high and it's, But for the most part, she's stronger than I am.
Yeah.
Kid. You got your good days and your bad days. Sometimes it gets to you, and I figure sometimes she probably feels like, I can't wait for this to be done with. And in reality, this is the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Unless more technology and inventions come out.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they will.
Goes back to what we were saying. You never know.
40 years ago, you had to carry around a needle and an insulin and shoot yourself up. Now.
Yeah. Yep.
And a few days ago we were down on the boardwalk and looking at all like the younger kids and people, even adults, walking around in their bathing suits and on the boardwalk. So many people, you see them everywhere.
Oh, you notice it now.
You notice it. Yeah.
So it's common.
Unfortunately,
what?
Where we are now in this world, there's inventions that we're like, why can't we fly a car? Why can't we do this? And then there's something where it's like, wow. I can give my daughter insulin from your basement.
Yeah.
If I see her.
That's unbelievable.
She needs it. You know what I mean?
So we are coming along as far as medical goes. But
we
yes,
are.
Are there more advances that we can have? Absolutely.
Yeah. But like you said, in the medical industry, it's all about the money. So.
Yeah. Yes. But it's crazy nowadays, man. Just everything from things like that to our life expectancy now. I mean,
people are living longer.
People are living much longer.
I mean, what do they say? 40's the new 30, 50's the new 40, 60's the new 50.
It's crazy. People are living at 100 and something. And think about it, though. 100 years ago, what was life expectancy? 60?
40, 50 years.
Hence the reason they originally, I think we've talked about this before at some point, but they originally created Social Security and retirement to be at 65.
Because you're about to die.
Because most people weren't living that much. Yeah, they weren't living much longer than that. Now, people are 90-something. I mean, my grandmother, I think, was 93 or 94 when she passed.
They're going to wind up raising that Social Security. Like, by the time we're in our 60s, ready to get Social Security, it's going to be like, all right, no, it's 70. Sorry.
Yeah. Fool, you're going to live long. Yeah, that's crazy how much that has changed. But we're more conscientious of things as far as, I mean, back when smoking was like normal. People didn't know what it was going to do to you. People didn't know, that it was going to have this kind of effect.
Yeah.
And there's plenty,
Yeah, and with the advancements of like marijuana, medical marijuana, it's it's solving issues and with the medical technology going forward, people would die of diabetes early because they wouldn't know they had diabetes. You know what I mean? So it's
like having these EKGs when you go for your checkup, and you're getting all this stuff, and they're checking your heart, they're checking this, checking that, monitoring this, monitoring that. Okay, so you're doing this wrong. You need to fix this.
Yeah.
Stop eating this or stop doing that. Okay, you gave me the warning. I know.
You know what I would like to see, though, and this is not really an invention, sort of say. I would like our insurance. When you go, once a year, every 6 months for like a checkup?
Yeah.
And I don't know about your insurance. My insurance pays for one free checkup per year.
Yeah, one a year.
That should be a full check. Not the doctor like, oh, your heart, this, check your knee. No, that should be like a full body scan. You're looking for tumors. You're looking for cancer. You're looking for anything. Like there should be so many people are dying of cancer. And it's too late when they find out. There should be a once-a-year thing where you can go and you get a full-body scan. You get they let you know everything about you.
When
Bone
I
density,
go,
everything.
I get a physical. So that includes EKG.
Physical,
that
yeah.
includes blood work. That includes
Finger up your bunghole.
No, not yet. I'm too young for that still.
Oh, no, I can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, you won't.
Check your huevos.
Yeah, you're gonna be like,
Yeah. It's cold in here, Doc.
yeah, it's cool. I was in the pool. But yeah, that's what they. But we have come a long way now as far as genetics go, and we can look at things like that. Hence the reason why they ask you a lot of times: do you have a history in this? Do you have a history of this? Do you have a history of that? Where they can say, okay, you have a history of maybe say it's diabetes. We need to make sure we monitor this a little bit more with you. It's something that,
But that's not going to catch cancer.
I got lucky with mine. I got lucky because he saw the growth on my neck.
Right.
He saw that there was something there. I didn't even see it. I had no clue. And
What if you were a person that didn't really go for their annual check? You know what I mean? Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
well, I didn't. I told you. I think I've told you this. I
Yeah.
went because I had a kid now, and I'm like, I got to start taking better care of myself and go to the doctor and getting checkups. Before that, it was probably 8, something, maybe even more than 10 years since I was at a doctor.
Yeah.
And then I said, I should go because I got a kid now. I got a family. I got to take better care of myself.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor, and that's when he pointed it out. He's like, yeah, you got something going on there. He's like, let's look into this further. Went from one doctor, next doctor, to surgery, to the whole thyroid cancer, and then that's
Yeah, my daughter tested positive for possible issues with the thyroid in the future.
Oh yeah,
Because the diabetes is autoimmune. I guess it's all related.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Or it runs in your family.
yeah,
You know,
I don't
who
know.
knows?
I don't know.
You are family. I mean, my daughter's your cousin.
Yeah, there's some blood there. And then I know my one aunt has some thyroid issues as well.
My daughter is your second cousin.
Yeah. So who knows? Who knows? But now I'm thyroidless. So I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. So
You don't need it anyway.
Yeah. I'm on synthetic thyroid hormones or whatever.
Is that like Mobile One synthetic? You have to get it changed every once in a while?
In a different way, yes. They are constantly altering my dosage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want to make sure it's on point.
Right.
If I lose weight, for instance, say I lose 20 pounds, there's almost guaranteed I'm going to have to change my dosage because my body mass index, all that fun stuff, is going to be different. So I think I'm ready for another beer, Johnny.
For another one?
Yes.
All right, so this one is a collab between a brewery I've never heard of,
Okay.
Ocelot Brewing.
Ooh.
You ever hear of Ocelot Brewing?
I like a lot of Ocelot.
You like a lot of os.
A lot. Yeah. Yeah.
And Brix City.
Okay.
And this is called China Rider. So this is a mix of 2 Grateful Dead songs.
Okay.
They're both, obviously, Brix City was a, Grateful Jams and all
Yeah.
the jams, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all-
The big
all Grateful Dead.
Fans. Yep.
And this Ocelot Brewing was the same. They had a beer dedicated to. Did you hear that?
What's that?
It came out of my throat.
Oh my God.
It's the Ocelot.
Wasn't the dog this time?
Yeah. So they collaborated on this one, and this is a IPA,
Okay.
a double IPA, and this is 8%.
Okay.
And when I went to pick this up, this came out on Thursday. I went to go pick it up on Saturday, and the guy said I got the second to last one.
Ooh.
That they flew out the door.
And you got a 4-pack of it.
And I got a 4-pack.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the Grateful Dead thing. I never heard of Ocelot, like I said.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will look that up. I should have looked that up before.
Ocelotatious.
Ocelot. You eat a lot of Ocelot?
That's all I keep thinking now. Looks, my color on that's fantastic. Though.
Yeah, I'm digging the the can and the smell coming out of it smells pretty good.
Let's get that nose. Oh yeah.
It smells good.
Yeah. So it smells delicious.
Cheers.
Doesn't smell like Ocelot.
No. There's no os in here.
Wow, that's distinct, like very distinguished. That taste. Very.
That's not.
It's bitter, man.
It's not a Brix City beer, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's. When you I always say like you can blindfold some of us and you can tell like some of the breweries. This is.
Well, it doesn't taste like a lot of ass. But
Ocelot Brewing is in Dulles, Virginia.
Oh,
So right by the capital.
okay.
I like it.
I'm indifferent. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Boo.
I think I gotta have a couple more sips.
It's not fruity. It's not. I don't know. I'm digging the taste. I think it's
Yeah.
It's got that hop flavor that I like.
It's that finish. I think that bitter finish.
That's what I like about it.
I think that's what I'm not liking about it. It's that, which goes to show you're not gonna. Everyone has different palates. Everyone has different tastes. Although John might love something, I might not always love something.
Right.
I think it's just that bitter lingering that I'm not a huge fan of. It really lingers there, that bitterness. Like I'm still tasting that bitterness.
Dry hopped with Cryopop, Trident hops, and Nectaron. At least there's no lactose.
Yeah.
I've heard of Trident hops. I never heard of the Nectaron. I don't know what that is. But I like it.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad. But I'm like I said, I think everything is good and gravy and until I have that it's just that finish lingers, that bitter finish, man. I don't know.
Your sound of
Silence. Hello, Johnny, my old friend.
Which I am going to, when this comes out, I would have been there already.
Yeah.
Disturbed. I've done a lot of concerts this year.
Yeah.
I'm living the life like a 20-year-old.
I forgot they covered that song because most people wouldn't know that Disturbed sang that as a cover. Yeah. Well, Brix, cool. I like to see you guys collaborating. I see like you're doing some new things here, and
I like when they say when breweries collab and it's like our friends from these people in Virginia. You don't know them. How did you come up with it? You know what I mean? Although they do put up pictures of these, they came up here to brew. So
yeah, who knows?
Pretty cool.
Who
Make
knows?
connections.
Yeah.
You know? It's like us. We're making connections.
The Rainbow Connection.
Yeah. What else?
Our next
Speaking
topic
of
is
Gilgo.
yeah, speaking of Gilgo, our next topic is one of John's favorite things to talk about. Actually, we like to bring it back once in a while here and there.
Galamad?
Galamad, yes, is a good galamad. You like the calamari there? It's good, huh? What are we going to talk about now, Johnny?
You know, I'm a big paranormal guy.
Yeah.
And more and more governmental people are confirming that aliens do exist.
Yeah.
Or at least UFOs.
So who is this? John told me briefly about this beforehand.
I can't remember his name. He is a government officer. He was in charge of the... They don't call them UFOs. They call them like UAP, like unidentified aerial something.
Yeah.
And the government itself is denying. They're not denying that these exist.
Yeah.
But they're not saying that they're aliens.
Yes. That's what we've talked about before. But UFO stands for unidentified flying object.
Flying object. They're calling
which
them
can mean
UAP,
anything. That means we just don't know what it is.
Right.
It could be someone from China with some kind of drone or something, that they're flying around or whatever, or balloon.
Right.
But
these people are really saying that they are objects and there are floating things that they don't know what they are. They're not balloons. They're not drones.
It seems beyond traditional technology.
Pilots.
Yeah.
Navy SEALs. Air Force. They're all claiming that they've seen these.
Yeah.
Now you got them testifying in Congress. People who are testifying, they're not making it up. You're not going to go to Congress and make something up.
Yeah.
They're testifying that these exist, and there's this one guy, he's a whistleblower, and whistleblower, I guess, is somebody who gives out the secrets,
Yes.
right? Basically.
Yes.
Used to work for the government in this department, and he's saying that, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I know that they've taken non-human bodies out of some of these UAPs, or UFOs, as we would say, and they're trying to figure out what they are.
I haven't heard. I haven't heard anything of that sort. So,
yes.
Okay.
And he says, I know where they are. He goes, I know the location where they're doing this thing. And I don't feel like people would make that up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes. Is it worth the risk for him to whistleblow if it wasn't true, or if there's something he didn't see, or something along that line?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you believe in aliens? Or do you believe in UFOs? Or what do you believe?
I mean, UFOs, yes, because like I said, unidentified flying object could be absolutely anything.
Right.
So UFOs...
That is a very broad term.
Yes. It can be anything that you just don't recognize in the
China
air.
balloon.
Yes. It's I don't know what it is. It's flying. It's something floating up there. When I first time, I remember I told you, what's his name? I think it was Elon Musk, whatever. I think it was him who was shooting satellites up into the air. And I was driving on the highway, and I saw these like beams of light up there, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" To me, UFO.
UFO.
But the reality of the situation is, it was Elon Musk shooting they're shooting satellites up into space.
That's that Starlight or Starlight.
Yeah,
where
something.
there's like 20 of them in a row.
Yeah, it was something crazy, and I was like, "What the heck is going on up there?" But then you find out that there was an explanation to it.
Right.
So I don't know. As far as it goes, I think I need to see that alien. I need to see that body, and I need to see where they say this is confirmed. We did discover this. Someone who's official in that, and say, "Here's a photo. Look at this."
Yeah.
We called this one Ralph.
Ralph. Yeah. Well, I mean, Randy Quaid. He said that he.
I know.
And he was right.
And he was right.
So the gentleman's name is David Grush, and he's the whistleblower. He's a former member of the UAP task force.
What the heck is UAP? What, does it say what it stands for or no? Sorry to bother you if it doesn't.
UAP is...
Unidentified ass poopers.
No, that's not ass poopers. It's unidentified aerial phenomena.
I did get one of the words right. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UFO, identified flying object, UAP, identified area. So they're starting they're trying to get away from the UFO and they're calling it UAP.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me makes no sense, but unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. What makes people think we're the only living life in this whole universe?
Well, I think that
why can't there be people like us on another planet?
Well, I think the easiest thing for us as humans, and I think I'm going to actually bring a little bit of religion into this. That's
what it's all based on.
Yes, as a Christian, we believe we believe what we read in the Bible, and we believe a lot of that, but it doesn't have any mention of other life forms out there. I mean, they could have been purposely excluded. Maybe it was something that it was irrelevant. I don't know, but we just don't have knowledge of that. That's why. So, hence the reason why we might not believe in it. Well, there's no mention of it. There's nothing telling us, because it's, to us, that's like almost like the book of life. You're reading it, but we saw nothing about aliens. Does it mean that it was? Does it mean that if we saw something that the Bible's wrong? No, it just means it was never mentioned. That's all.
How does something like, you hear people, they go to like Egypt, right? And they go to the what are they called in Egypt? The
pyramids.
The pyramids. And they're like, a man did not do this. Like, there's no way.
But why not? Just because our mind, although as primitive as people were back then, they still had the same mind that we have now. They had the ability to create things, pulleys, leverage, things of that sort, where they can maybe do something. Maybe there was something that they knew then, the Egyptians, that we don't know now. Why? Because we have brilliant people now. There wasn't brilliant people then.
Yeah.
Maybe it was something that wasn't passed down. Maybe it was an Egyptian secret. Maybe we don't know. Because that was so many years ago that maybe they figured out something we haven't figured out yet now. I don't know.
The Mayans.
Yeah, the Mayans. Did you watch that?
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Did you watch that? The Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull one or whatever, or no?
The Crystal Skull. That was the not the one in the movies. The one that came out before that.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
And the whole
With his what's that jerky actor?
Oh, Dan Aykroyd.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I think we say Dan Aykroyd because he believes in the whole alien thing and the crystal skulls
he's
and
the vodka man.
Yeah. And the elongated skulls and all that stuff. And there was always, and I didn't realize that about Indiana Jones just because I was watching it from such a young age. There's a lot of truth to it all.
In all of them.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was actually how the Ark looked like. It was like
Yeah.
the wings and things coming up and all that.
of
And, yeah. And
Temple of Doom, the Cup of Christ.
yeah, and Last Crusade, yeah. And Crystal Skull, this is something that has been researched, known, something where they're trying to figure out, was this alien form something of a greater mind or intelligence or whatever, you know?
Maybe they think we're just too fucking stupid, and they're like, we're not going to bother with those people. We're going to let them be.
Yeah.
They're destroying their own planet. We have better technology than they do. There's nothing they can do for us.
Yes, maybe they live in a land where it's just amazing.
You know, I'm a paranormal guy. I can't say I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen an alien.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Bigfoot. Do I believe there's something out there that's causing this stuff? Yeah. Maybe it's not a Bigfoot. Maybe it's another species of animal that we just don't see often. Or ghosts, I believe.
Yeah.
I've had personal experiences, you know?
Did they unzip your pants and like in
my button,
Ghostbusters?
My eyes crossed.
Back to Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. I love Dan Aykroyd. But yes.
It's funny that I was talking to my mother's boyfriend. It was like my stepfather, you know, but he was talking about when he was younger or something like he was somewhere like in a field or whatever with his friends and some alien ship flew by. And he's like, I'm serious. It was. He's like, I talked to people who were with me, and they're like, do you remember that? And they're like, yeah, of course I remember that. You know,
my father has the same story.
Yeah.
Him and when we lived in Queens, New York, him and his our neighbor were sitting on the front porch, and they said it came down low, and they said they heard it going wah 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 wah, and then it went. Pew.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't talk to this guy, his neighbor, for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And he found him on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he found actually the guy found me,
Yeah.
and I guess saw the name, and it was like, "Oh, are you the John Grass from Queens?" I was like, "That's my dad."
Yeah.
So my dad said, "Send him a message and say, hey, do you remember that one night on the porch?" So all I wrote was, "Do you remember that one night on the porch?" He goes, "The spaceship." He goes, "Of course I remember it. I'll never forget that." So I don't know, like so many people. You got to be millions of people that have seen UFOs. They can't all be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what they're looking at sometimes, but.
And sometimes there's explanations to it. I remember one time I saw
I
saw this green thing floating in the sky, and then I found out later on that was like a meteor or something. They're like, oh, if it's something green in the sky, it's a meteor. You know?
Like a year ago, my brother sent me a video, and he's like, I finally captured it. I got UFOs. And it was a drone.
Yeah.
You know? But
nowadays, you have to question a little bit more because our technology
there's a lot of
has
shit up there.
advanced, and yes, there's things flying drones or whatever out there, so you never know.
But I don't know. I like to believe that there's something else out there. You know, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Signs where it's like you know.
Yeah.
You know, that scared the shit out of you that first time you ever saw Signs when they
little
were
kid?
looking down the alleyway and then it just walked by and it looked at them.
Yeah. Oh, the little kid. That was like in a Mexican city or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're speaking it, and you see it's like walk right by.
Yeah.
And oh my god.
That scared the shit out of you.
M. Night Shyamalan's the man, bro. That's all I could say. The stuff he's come up with. I now that I gotta pop it in at least one M. Night Shyamalan movie before, or maybe I'll put it on sometime soon. You know, I love his stuff.
What's the newest one? I didn't watch the newest one.
The newest one. I see. I'm not a theater goer anymore as much anymore, so I don't follow it. I just wait till stuff comes out. So I got a brain fart right now. Whatever the newest one. Yeah. I feel like it's. I mean, The Happening was whatever amount of years ago, but no,
that was long.
Yeah.
And The Village. I really like The Village.
Village was great. Joaquin Phoenix is the man, bro. He's so good.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
He's still alive.
River Phoenix.
River Phoenix is dead. His brother's dead.
Joker 2 coming out soon.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do we got filmed? What do we speaking of the Joker?
So this is one, and my wife, I feel bad for my wife because
Give her a shout out.
she was going through a lot trying to get me bourbons and things that I don't have, and things that, because I really got heavy into it in the beginning, she'd get me a bourbon or something, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good. What's this?" Now I've gotten so crazy out of control with it. She's like, "I can't buy you bourbon anymore because you have it all." But this was one I didn't have, and it's one that I only have on certain occasions, only because I don't do the smokier stuff as much. But I think a couple podcasts ago, or I know the last podcast I had mentioned I put something smoky on, but I think a couple podcasts ago, where me and John were talking about Scotch, and I said I got to bring some smoky stuff on here for you, you know. But this is by Hillrock, not to be confused with Rock Hill, which is a Buffalo Trace one, but Hillrock. This actually, I drive through Hillrock when I'm coming up through to go to my house in the Catskills.
Okay.
So it's out of New York, Hudson Valley, New York. This one in particular is a single malt whiskey coming in at 48.2% alcohol. And like I said, I find like this, like single malts and things like that, I find them to be a little bit smokier. I mean, more like a Scotch. But since we brought that up, I said to John, I said, let's get it on here, man. Let's try it out. I will do it on certain occasions. So it's just one of those ones. It's not that I don't like it. I just have to be in the mood for it, I guess you would say. It's like Texas whiskey.
Right.
I just have to be in that mood. I'm like, I really want a Texas whiskey right now. So and that's for Johnny.
Yeah, a little heavy on that pour, buddy.
I'm sorry. Here, I don't know.
It's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll suck it up.
All right.
Woo. What's the proof on this one?
What did I say, 48 or something? 48.2, yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting, though. You can see, when you're looking through it, you see stuff floating in there.
Unidentified floating object.
Yes, identified floating object. Well, a lot of times with the filtration process of these bourbons, sometimes they're just not filtered like the way...
Looks like my urine in the morning.
But yeah, that's Hillrock. Give it a nose.
Yeah, it's strong on the nose.
Oh, yeah. It's very scotchy, man, to me. It's like that same, like I said.
Never had Scotch, but this is not Scotch, but I've never had Scotch.
Yeah, I got to give you a Scotch one of these days.
It smells good, though.
It's malty. It's very malty.
Good.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling John likes, because we've had like peated bourbon, things that were more Scotch-like, and John's always liked them. But cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Ooh, that's very smoky.
Yeah. You say you like smoky.
That's like liquid beef brisket.
It's very, very smoky, yeah. It's like, that's, when you think Scotch, think this, as far as flavor goes, that smokiness.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do.
You might be a Scotch person.
I don't want to be a Scotch person. I don't want to be an anything person.
You could be like Sean Connery. Well, he's dead now, but still.
It was good. You know what? I think I would like it better with an ice cube, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You might like a Johnny Walker. Scotch.
No,
When John got married to my cousin,
God.
When we were there, all we were drinking was Johnny Walker on the rocks, and the bartender. What did the bartender say?
D, she complained.
Oh, the maitre d' said, "Your friends are drinking too much of the Johnny Walker Black." Well, you said what did
they
you
were
say?
out of it, and then she goes, "Your friends are drinking too much." No, she goes, "Yeah." What did she? Yeah, she said, "You're. I'm sorry to bother you." She goes, "But your guests are drinking too much, and we're running out of alcohol." And I said, "You better take your ass to the stove."
This is what I paid for, all inclusive.
I don't want to hear that. You better have 35 bottles of Johnny Walker or Johnny Rockets.
Open bar. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, it's open bar. You better.
The place was 2 levels, and there was a Jewish wedding upstairs.
Yeah.
And I said, "Jewish people don't drink. Go get their alcohol."
Go get their. Actually, Jewish people do drink.
They do, yeah.
lot.
When she came back down, she's like, "No, they have their own." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they
send
drink
somebody
a
to the store."
lot.
But she did. They went to the store. I don't know what they did, but they came back with more.
I go. That's my go-to guy in New York. Because I said in the Catskills, we're in a Hasidic area.
I love this.
It's a lot of Hasids going in there and buying tons of alcohol. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable how many. Yeah.
This is like sitting on the tongue.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I just had like a smoked pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, like a brisket. Like you do smell the smoke.
I think
taste the smoke.
I think next episode, I'm kind of discovering things about John's palate right now. Our next episode, I may bring a cigar blend bourbon into things and see what you think about it.
I don't do cigars.
If you like smoky, you may like this, and it has amberana, so I think I might do it.
That I like.
Yeah.
Didn't Bill Clinton have fun with a cigar and a
Yes. In the famous dress.
No, I do. See, I like this. This is something that's good. But you're right, though. This is probably something that I would have once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it'd be overkill if you drank it all the time.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, John. When I have this, I typically, unless it's not the first thing I had, if it is the first thing I had, this is all I'm drinking for that night. I can't have this and then have like a bourbon,
right?
Because my palate's already thrown off. It's the smoky's lingering. It's
funny you said that because a few nights ago I was having a bourbon and I text you and I said, when you're having a nightcap, you want to have one or two.
It's so random, yeah.
Do you switch off or do you just stick with the same thing? Because I'm like, is it going to screw up the palate if I go from bourbon to this bourbon to this bourbon, which I've done before.
Yeah.
But I was watching Neat.
Yeah.
And I was on the couch and I was having my bourbon, Neat, no ice. And I was like, I feel like I want another one, but I want to try something else.
Wait, you watched Neat that night too as well?
I did, yeah.
And I watched it the following night, I think.
You
Because
did,
I was texting you.
You texted me, Tubi, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to have another one.
Yeah.
And, but I wanted something different.
Yeah.
But I had to make sure with the bourbon
But it's a little bit different because you're not crazy like me with like all these different types of bourbon.
No,
if you only have,
I only have
different...
like 5 of them at my house. Yeah.
Yeah, you're up to 5.
I have. I still have some Granddad left.
Yeah.
I got one. I got this, Woodford. I got Sazerac. I got this. I got 6.
6.
Yeah. I don't count the Jim Beam bourbon. If I count the Jim Beam bourbon, it's 7.
6 of them.
With 1 empty bottle. Actually, I got the Fighting Cock too that I haven't had since the show. So 8.
Where do you keep them all? Do you have like a?
I have a bar.
Oh yeah.
In my dining room. Yeah.
Oh.
I keep the good ones on top and the shitty ones in them.
He's not in trouble yet.
No, not yet. No. I come home and I tell my wife, "Well, Kenny gave it to me." No, I didn't pay for it.
Well, the one I gave,
extra.
the one I actually gave, which I never tried.
I can't admit that I pay.
Yeah, but you didn't pay for that one. The one
No,
that
one. No.
Yeah, what was it? The Heaven Hill.
I said I paid the $65 for the Johnny drinks, and I was with my wife, and she looked at me, and I was like,
"Honey, the name. Come on, I follow these guys." But yeah, this is good. It's unique. It's different. It's
I like it. You know who would like
nice
this?
change up?
Chris, our buddy. We always talk about Chris. He's a smoker. He's got the smoking. He loves to smoke meats and do stuff. I think he would like something like this.
Does he smoke cigars?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think so. I don't know anybody who smokes cigars. Is that a thing anymore?
My neighbor who lives nearby, he smokes them, but he's like a golf. He's like a golf pro
Prince
practically.
Harry?
He smokes his no.
King Charles?
He smokes his cigars on the golf course a lot. He's like, nice. He's like, I play golf.
The
I smoke
cigar
my
I
cigar.
smoke is like those skinny ones with like the wood tip. Remember those back in the day? Yeah.
Or the like Swisher Sweets. Remember Swisher Sweets?
You can get like cherry flavor.
Or it was all those ones, back in the day. Don't ask me why I know. But
all right, cool.
Good stuff. Hillrock, shout out.
I like it.
Shout out to Brix, guys.
Brix City.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, and Ocelot Brewing.
Yes.
I like the collab. He thought it was okay. I thought it was very good.
I didn't think it was bad. Don't get me wrong, guys.
No.
It was just that lingering, that finish though. I wasn't feeling too much.
Lagerhythm was good.
Yes. The other one I really liked too.
Nothing left on the. Shout out to the aliens, I guess. I don't know. Shout out to ET and
ET, go home.
Shout out to Hillrock.
Yep. Then we got the Hillrock.
Not to be confused with Rock Hill.
No, do not confuse it.
And that's it for today.
Cheers, guys. Cheers,
guys.
John. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers to you.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Later.
Later.